Morning. Hope we're all doing okay this week, and I hope you enjoyed your bank holiday. This week's theme of the week is called Christian Aid, and that's actually because of a charity called Christian Aid. It was set up by 41 churches across the UK, and its aim is to work towards eradicating poverty, working on sustainable development, helping countries that have natural disasters and helping with relief efforts, and also just supporting civil society and trying to help them develop. They also provide support in this country too, and they've been running for 75 years, so this year is quite an important year for them. And as a school, we always mark Christian Aid Week because we're a church school and we think that it is important that we support those charities that are doing such good work. So all I'm going to ask of you this week is that you watch this video that's been created by Christian Aid, and then I'm going to be asking that next week, after you've seen this video, bring in some change. Doesn't have to be much, anything that you can give, and myself or Josh will be coming around and collecting money, and then we'll send that off to Christian Aid, because every year they have what's called Christian Aid Week, and they ask churches all across the country to give money and to donate, and so we're going to help be part of that, be courageous advocates and support a local and global charity so that they can do some great work.
This is not our story. It's your story. The Changemakers, who for over 75 years have stood together as Christian Aid. Real people bringing about real change, tackling poverty, daring to believe it can be eradicated once and for all. And to think it all began right here. With the Second World War over, refugees in Europe were in need. The world had forgotten. But not you. Everyday folk uniting to offer love and care to people in desperate need. Reaching out with humanitarian relief and long-term support. But this was only the beginning. Over the coming decades, you would step up time and time again. You were the difference to lives devastated by the humanitarian crisis in Nigeria in the 1960s. And you showed solidarity with those peacefully protesting for their civil rights. You were the difference to hungry people overwhelmed by famine in the 1980s, to those living with HIV in the 1990s. You held aloft our placard in the marches calling for debt cancellation for poorer nations, stood side by side with those devastated by the horrors of apartheid and prejudice. And you fought for trade justice when people thought it would never be possible. Empowering people like Faith, Kakoli and Rose to be the change in their own lives, to dare to dream again. Wherever we are in the world, we have stood shoulder to shoulder with each other to campaign for justice. And now, knowing all that we can do together, the extraordinary that can come from the ordinary, we stand united to face perhaps our greatest ever challenge. The fight for climate justice and a future for us all. Right now, the climate crisis is leaving people hungry, homeless and heartbroken. It's hurting us all, but people living in poverty fight the worst of it every day. Together with the coronavirus pandemic, the challenge we face is immense. But as we look back on all we've achieved over the past 75 years, we have amazing hope that together we will make a world of difference. That real people will bring about real change when it is needed like never before. Be that change.
So I thought I'd just come on quickly and read a verse from the Bible that I think highlights the need for charity and why we should be doing it. Over the last few weeks, Josh has been saying to you that, we can't force you to do anything. We're, suggesting all these things that you can do to be a good person and to be a good Christian, but it takes heart. You've got to want to do it from inside your heart, and I think this reading says that exactly. Remember this, the one who plants few seeds will have a small harvest, but the one who plants a lot will have a big harvest. Each one of you should give what you've decided to give in your heart. You should not give if it makes you unhappy or if you feel forced to give. Then God will give you more blessings than you need. and you will always have plenty of everything.